Family, what's good? Welcome back to another segment of Million Dollar Mindset with your boy WILLIEBIGGS back at you once again in the building, man. Before I start off, like always, I want to pray and hope everything is going good with you, yours, emotionally, spiritually, financially, physically, and mentally, man. You know, as I always say, I'm starting this segment, the Million Dollar Mindset, because I know this earthly life is based on you living your best life as possible. You don't always have to make bad decisions to live at your best, man. And so I'm a ride with you, man, for something that I know. Like I said, I'm not here to convince nobody nothing. I'm not even here to try to persuade nobody about anything. But what I am here is to let you know that all things are possible if you put your mind to it, man. And I know, because I'm living proof, that if you shift gears, you can still live a nice, abundant life. You know what I'm saying? And you still can reach and attain your goals of being a millionaire or a thousandaire or 100,000aire of whatever your choice is. So me, I have always been a person with a big vision, always. And I always have been able to maintain and eat royally. Through it all, ups and downs, bitter and sweet, I've always maintained and been able to eat royally and not struggle. And so today I want to start this segment off with share some information, man. I'm going to start off talking to my young guys, man. Before you stamp yourself or seal your deal, I'm going to explain that in a minute. But before you stamp yourself or seal your deal, man, while you in the process of labeling yourself, and what I mean by labeling yourself is people is giving you warnings. I don't know if you going through the same thing that I once went through, but I know when I was a youngin' and I was in school and I was growing up, I heard the phrase many a times, you gonna wind up dead or in the penitentiary. And that's because I was in the process of labeling myself, which all young kids do, especially the young males. We have a tendency to start labeling ourselves because we try to build our reputation. Our ego is at play at an all-time high when you're in your early stages of life between teenage and adolescent stage. For a male, we are in what we call labeling ourselves. And you hear them older folks tell you, you're going to wind up dead in the penitentiary. And so I want to start off talking to you guys, man. Before you stamp and seal yourself, you don't want either one of them. You don't want to be stamped, nor you don't want to be sealed. You start off labeling yourself, then the system will wind up stamping and approving your label. And then you gotta stamp yourself because you're gonna have to carry that ego and that reputation on through life, man. So I just wanted to tell you youngsters, man, that having been stamped, and pray to God you don't get sealed, because when you sealed is over with, that means you expired. And it'll be some slow singing and flower bringing, and you'll be on the front of somebody's t-shirt, and they'll be giving you a balloon release, man. So before any of that come about, man, I want to tell you from what I know. I wish I would have listened to my old man a long time ago, but unfortunately I didn't. And it, like he told me, a hard head to make a soft behind. When you make your bed hard, you're gonna have to lay in it. And I had to do all that. So for you young guys that haven't been stamped, and thank God haven't been sealed yet, man, know you can accomplish anything that you want to accomplish. Now, I know it's going to be some casualties to this thing we call life, because some of y'all don't believe fat meat greasy. And I understand being there. And some of y'all may not make it to see that 21st, that 18th. Some may not even make it to see the 16th birthday. I pray that y'all have a long, healthy life. I pray that y'all would take heed from somebody. Don't have to be me, but somebody that's telling you something positive and trying to keep you from winding up dead or in a penitentiary. So that was a message to my young guys, man. You know, like I said, I know that's why this brand, the $1 Million Mindset, is here, because I'm here to tell you, you can get your money and you ain't got to put yourself in harm's way to get it. You got to work a little bit harder. You're going to have to dedicate yourself. That part I can tell you. And as we go on through the growth of this channel, man, I'm going to continue to shoot it out there. I'm not going to stop. And you know the thing about it is, it's your choice whether you choose to listen, because I'm not going to stop putting it out there. Because I'm going to tell you real. I don't have nothing to protect, no ego, no pride, no reputation. And I'm not scared to be real. I ain't no gangbanger. I ain't nothing but a man that done walked that journey of life like a whole bunch of others. Because I don't think my story is no different from no one else's. I just ain't ashamed or scared to tell the truth about mine. So, youngins, man, while y'all got an opportunity, shift your gears, slow down, do some self-inventory, some self-evaluating for yourself, man. But I'm gonna have to move on. For those of us that have been stamped and stamped ourselves, the ones that done sealed their deal, ain't nothing we can do for them. They fate been called. You know, just the only thing we can hold for them is memories. You know, that's it. That's all. Just memories. But for those that have been stamped, certified, identified, classified, now my message for you. And I'm going to take the gloves off on this one, because it ain't all youngsters. It's some old heads too. So I'm going to take the gloves off. We made decisions. We chased that dollar. We on a hunt, build our reputation. I know I was told many a times, boy, you're going to wind up dead in the penitentiary. You're going to wind up dead in the prison. I was told that many a times. But my father always told me too, you're going to learn. Because he knew he didn't raise no dummy. So he didn't wish the worst of me. He just told me, I'm going to make my bed hard. I'm going to have to learn it. I'm going to have to lay in it. And I'm going to learn in the process. Didn't understand it. Didn't even comprehend it. Just heard the words. And I labeled myself. I done everything any other guy probably have done. You know, what they say, stepping and all that good stuff. Yeah, I did it. You know, I was so bad that when we moved to Texas, the school, see, I didn't drop out of school. When we moved to the state of Texas, I got into a little something. And going to Greenville High School, they suspended me for 10 days. And within that 10 days, they sent back to Kansas City for my school records. And my 10th day back, when I was headed back to school, I was greeted by Greenville Police Department and the principal, Dr. Weaver, at the time. And he said, follow me to my office. I got to the office. Him and the officers looked at me. And Dr. Weaver said, Mr. Williams, you can't go to school here. We don't have the facility that fits you. You know. Now, I had labeled myself on my way to being stamped. And once the system stamp you, you lose a lot. And a lot of people don't bounce back from that stamp, so they gotta stamp themselves. Understand what I'm saying? When you stamp yourself, when you start off with that labeling, and you hear them, they telling you, because you labeling yourself, you're gonna wind up dead in prison. You're gonna hear that. You heard that, because I'm talking to the big dogs now that have been stamped, sealed, certified. You know, once you get that, once the system stamp you, a lot of people ain't able to overcome that stamp. So they begin stamping themselves. Because I gotta live with this label and stamp that I done put on myself. And it's crazy because most of us just wanted that reputation and that dollar. But it's a little bit more that go along with that. Because although not every person is able to bounce back from that stamp, and what I mean by that stamp, so we're gonna clear it up. That stamp is certified inmate, certified convict, certified offender, whatever they classify you in your state, city, or town. Once you get that stamp by the system, it's hard to bounce back, hard to find employment, hard to find a place to live, hard to overcome the economic impact that it's gonna have on your life. Not only that, you lose rights. By law, you can't even protect yourself properly. What I mean by that, in the world that we live in today, most likely you gotta have a firearm to protect yourself. But once you become a convicted felon, you no longer can have a handgun. You no longer possess a firearm, period. You understand what I'm saying? So you lose tremendously once you stamp yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just want to let you know that I know how hard it is. I lived the nightmare. You know, can't go get an apartment because you got drugs on your record or whatever. Excuse me. But you can't do certain things because you're a convicted felon. Can't leave the state if you're still on parole or probation. Can't get a passport to leave the country. Some states you can't even get your voting rights back. Some states you gotta fight to get your voting rights back. See, it's a whole bunch to go along once you stamp yourself. But guess what the kicker is? When you golden, God sent you for something for a reason. So he protected you. See, I'm going to tell you what really golden is. When you're really golden, that means chosen. That means God had a plan for you, to use you. When you golden, chosen, favored, you can overcome anything. No matter what blocks they throw at you, you can overcome them. But it's only for the golden and the chosen. Because like I said, a lot of people don't get to bounce back after they've been stamped. These are just hard realities. Hard realities, man. And I'm here to tell you from experience, man. When you chosen, and God showed you favor, you made it through a lot of things a lot of people wasn't able to make it through. He set you up to where you was gonna bounce back. You gonna bounce back. And he gonna open some doors that you can't open. I remember when I first started my career, a guy told me, an instructor, ain't nobody gonna hire you because you got a felony and it's drug related. So ain't no company gonna hire you. Me, myself, I had become to understand that God had a mission for me. And I become to understand that I had favor. And I had become to begin to understand that I was gonna be okay. I didn't let his words of discouragement discourage me. I just told him, all right, whatever. Now we're gonna fast forward some years. I started my own company. Fast forward that. Now I work with one of the best companies in the U.S. as far as in the trucking industry. And I was able to do it because of favor. Like I said, it's a lot of people that didn't bounce back. You know, a lot of people that still stuck with that stamp on their back. But it's all behind choices that you make. All behind the decisions that you make. When you favor, when you golden, the things you was chasing before you got stamped, after you stamped and approved, and you blessed to walk away, and you surrender, and let God have his way. Like I said, he opened up them doors for his chosen. Not many of us gonna get that opportunity. And I'm not bragging, I'm sharing. I'm sharing because I'm telling you from experience, not what nobody told me. You don't have to live reckless to get your due in the society. And that stamp is spiritually removed. You don't feel me though. The stamp is spiritually removed. You know. So I'm gonna tell you something, and I don't know if you're gonna take heed or not. Your choice. But just like I told those youngsters, I'm gonna tell you that been stamped, because I've been stamped, certified, classified, and identified. Do some self-inventory. You don't have to be in and out of prison. You ain't got to continue to hang on the street corner. Because if you in my age group and you that had more chances than the law allowed, God got a purpose for you. Don't let it pass you by. Don't let it pass you by. Do some self-inventory. You can still get that meal ticket. You can still get it. And as we go on with this these segments, I'm gonna share with you. I ain't gonna hold back. I'm gonna take the gloves off from time to time. But I do want you to know, some of you ain't gonna change. Hate to say it, just the reality. A few of y'all are chosen. Recognize it, man. Do some self-inventory. You'll be okay. Take it from me, I can tell you'll be okay. You ain't got to convince nobody nothing. You ain't got to showcase nothing. You don't have to do none of those things above. But you'll be all right. I'm talking to them few that's chosen.